Hey, what's up, guys? This is Lauren here. Sorry about my hair; it's kind of a mess. So I already put up a video today, but that was me reading a book. Today, or right now, at about 10 o'clock at night, I am going to be talking about a character that many of us who've been in Test Realm recently know a lot about, and that is the myth teacher Baba Yaga. Now, the thing about Baba Yaga is, it seems kind of strange to me because whenever you think of Polaris, you think, okay, well, this world is based off of France. It's revolutionary France, right? The thing about it is, though, France, from what I know, France's culture is based off of a lot of Russian history. So I think what KingsIsle did was they took a little bit of Russia and a little bit of France and put it as one, because Baba Yaga in Russian folklore is supposedly the goddess or a goddess of death and what does it say? Death and let's see. Let me check my links here, my websites. See what I come up with. Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga, where are you, Baba Yaga? I know you're here. There you are. Yes. What's up? Okay. So, let's see. Of death and regeneration, which is kind of scary. She has a skeletal son named Koshai. It's spelled Koschei. So I don't know how you say that. Anyways, so apparently she decided, I don't know, sometime in her life, she went from being the goddess of death and regeneration to some old witch or hag that lives in a chicken leg house. Now, this is where it gets very, very convincing. This is why I think that this is where KingsIsle got the idea for Baba Yaga. Listen, if anyone's seen the myth spell yet, or even, just seen what her house looks like, this here says, and I'm quoting directly from the website called godchecker.com. Now, they do a lot of stuff on, like, different gods from different, like, religions and stuff, and I mean, you can go all over the internet and find this information, but this is just a really easy place to find it. It's really convenient. Okay, it says, she lives in a house built of human bones. And if that doesn't worry you, her home security is guaranteed to scare anyone. The house is surrounded by a bone fence containing inset skulls whose eye sockets light up in the dark. And it's a mobile home. It runs around supported on giant chicken legs. Coming soon to a forest near you. The website gets cocky. And, let's see. If this doesn't make you chicken out, apparently Okay, so I'm gonna, stop reading from the website directly. I'm gonna give you some more information here. It says here that if you look Baba Yaga in the eyes, she'll turn you to stone. So it's like a Medusa type situation. You can't look at Baba Yaga without being turned into a giant, or not giant, but a living statue. Well, just, a statue of yourself, like a sculpture. I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't know. Let's see about that one. Okay. Let's see. She can also turn herself. I don't know what that means, but okay. If anyone knows, hang on. Let's see what a pestle and mortar is. Do some research here. Pestle and mortar. Baba Yaga. Not Baba Yaga. What does that even mean? Baba Yaga. No, stop it. There we go. Okay. Alright, let's go to witchcraftandwitches.com. A lot of these websites, I mean, they don't sound like good sources, but they have a lot of information, and if you compare them to other websites with good information on them, it matches up pretty evenly. This one's called, I can't remember the link, hang on. Witchcraftandwitches.com. Okay, so, let's see here. Baba Yaga, witch-like character, flies around on a giant mortar and pestle. Okay, so I'm guessing it's like a witch's broom, kind of. I guess that's where that story came from. Because, if only I could show you the picture. Well, yeah, it just looks like a witch's broom. kind of interesting, actually. Hang on, let me do this. I have an idea. This will help a bit. Make it a little bit easier. Use a cell phone for this. Okay. Google.com. Baba-Yaga. It's called a... what was it again? Mortar and pestle. There it is. Which is... where are we? There you are. Okay. So let me go ahead and show you the picture that's on that website. Yeah. I don't care. Thank you. Good job. Haha. There. Okay, see if I can get that on the camera now. I don't know. Hang on 1 second. Get the camera a bit. Move it towards my phone. Wait. So confusing. Move it this way. There. Okay. So as you can see, it's a kind of like, yeah, it's like a witch's broom. So like the things you see them flying around on Harry Potter while they're throwing balls at each other. Okay, or whatever those things were called, I can't remember. Baba apparently means grandmother or old woman, and Yaga derives from the feminine name Jadwiga, or, you know, its variants, which is basically the Slavic form of Hedwig, which is Germanic. So, I mean, as you can see, like a lot of cultures, whenever they mix together, German apparently to Russia, and then Russia to a little bit of French, because if you look at the Bastille, and then you look at a lot of the old Russian prisons, like, I don't know, so, I mean, they look kind of similar in design, right? It's architecture. Eventually cultures mix together. And whenever they mix together, it's like, okay, what are we going to do? We have all this new information that we can use. Let's use it to our advantage. So, let's see. The Bastille. Let's look and see what the Bastille actually looks like. Because a lot of this information is tied together. It's really difficult, or not, you know, really difficult to figure out. Okay, so Bastille is going to give me the band. That's not what I need. Okay, anyways, moving on. We're going to go back to Baba-Yaga because the Bastille honestly has no other relevance besides... Hang on, that was awful. 1 second. Slowly watched it fall. Okay, there. Anyways, it has no other relevance besides, you know, showing that the French, the Germans, and the Russians have a little bit of a connection there. I mean, they're really old cultures, so of course they're going to have some cultural mixes. Let's see. She's usually portrayed as a fearsome old crone with iron teeth. As thin as a skeleton, spite of a ferocious appetite. Okay, she's also known as Baba-Yaga Bony Legs. So I guess her legs are like really bony or whatever. Oh, she has a really long nose, and it rattles against the ceiling whenever she snores. That is scary. She sleeps stretched out in all directions, and she sleeps on an ancient brick oven. Okay, that's kind of, I don't want to say sadistic, because she's not really, it's just kind of creepy, I guess. Huh. Let's see. The keyhole to her front door is a mouth filled with sharp teeth. And another legend, the house does not reveal the door until it's told the magical phrase, "Turn your back to the forest, your front to me." Baba-Yaga herself usually uses the chimney to fly in and out on her mortar. And inside the house, she is served by invisible servants and 3 bodiless and somewhat menacing pairs of hands. So basically, her servants are like just these floating hands, just like floating midair. Yeah, let me get this right. I swear to God, I hate this camera. I can't get my head to go away. Anyways, so that's that part. So apparently, she's said to be the guardian of some fountain called the fountain of the waters of life and the spirit of the fountain of the waters of life and death. So I'm guessing those are like, you know, who dies, who lives, blah blah blah, like the old myths about the fountain of youth kind of thing. which give you life or can kill you. She rules over the elements, and her faithful servants are the white horsemen, the red horseman, and the black horseman. So the white horseman is also called my bright dawn, the red horseman is my red sun, and the black horseman is my dark midnight. Archetype, the goddess of wisdom and death, the bone mother, a wild and untamable nature spirit bringing wisdom and the death of ego. Oh, well, she appears to have a lot of different powers here. Okay. She appears to have no power over the blessed and the pure of heart. So, like, if you're a really nice person, or you don't, you're very loving, you're virtuous. According to this, if you have a mother's blessing, she has no effect over you. She reveals her all-knowing, all-seeing, all-revealing side to those who dare to ask. There are then stories where Baba-Yaga helps people with their quests. So, for example, if you're, in Wizard101, the only difference is that we have to battle her. So, and then she helps us with our quests after we, defeat her in a battle to prove our worth. And then there's stories where she kidnaps children and threatens to eat them. So, yeah. Seeking out her aid is usually portrayed as a dangerous act, requiring proper preparation and purity of spirit, as well as being nice, basic politeness. So, basically, it's telling us exactly what, KingsIsle's boss version of it, told us. We have to prove our worth. So, I guess the battle is like a pure of heart test kind of thing. I mean, if you beat her, you're pure of heart or whatever, but it's weird. Anyways, and I guess that's why everyone was like warning us not to go and talk to her, not to ask her for help, because if we did, we might end up dead or eaten. Okay, let's see. Let's look for some more information. I'm gonna keep this video going for maybe another 2 minutes. See if we can find a video of it, and I'll just play the sound for you. Baba-Yaga mythology. Let's see what that says. Okay. Baba-Yaga. Here. See what this comes up with. Oh, I know what I can do. Didn't think of this.
In the deep forests of Slavic countries, there exists a creature who is so foul, their names make children cry, and the very sight of her make your blood curdle. In Slavic folklore, Baba-Yaga is a supernatural being, one of 3 sisters of the same name, who appears as a deformed and ferocious-looking woman. Baba-Yaga flies around in a mortar, wields a pestle, and dwells deep in the forest, in a hut usually described as standing on chicken legs. Baba-Yaga may help or hinder those that encounter or seek her out, and may play a material role and has an association with forest wildlife. Baba-Yaga commonly appears as either a donor, villain, or maybe altogether ambiguous. Baba-Yaga frequently bears the epithet bony leg, and when inside of her dwelling, she may be found stretched out over the stove, reaching from one corner of the hut to another. Her nose may stick into the ceiling. Of those that
So yeah, it's more or less just repeating information that I've already read you. That video is thanks to Azul Quetzalcoatl, and I believe that's an Aztec god. I think that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. Anyways, basically what he was saying, and again, I give credit to that YouTuber name Azul Quetzalcoatl. Anyways, okay. So yeah. Besides the kidnapping children part of the Baba-Yaga story, it appears that KingsIsle more or less got her story exactly right. She helps people. She's dangerous if you don't prove yourself to her. And I guess we passed the test of being, pure of heart or whatever. Although I don't really understand how defeating her did that. It's King's Island. I mean, it's Wizard101. Come on now. I mean, that's usually how we prove our pureness of heart to these bosses. Anyways, we defeat them, and they're like, "Oh, you're good. I believe you. Don't kill me." Yeah. Anyways, I guess it's because we spared her or something. I guess we could have killed her. I don't know. But other than that, I mean, that's Baba-Yaga. And like I said, most of Polaris is obviously the French, Revolution. But what I'm honestly starting to think is that it's not just about French history. I'm starting to think that they actually mixed a little bit of, a little bit Germanic here, a little bit of Russian here, a little bit of French over here, maybe a bit of Polish off to the side. It's like all of these different cultures in one, because all of those cultures are almost it's scary how similar they are. It's kind of like the idea of Thor, Zeus, and what's his name? Thor and Zeus, and then Jupiter. It's kind of like that idea, right? The gods of thunder or whatever, and they're so similar. Like, their stories are almost exactly the same, but they were changed a little bit. And especially with the Romans and the Greeks. If you've ever read the book Percy Jackson, or some of the Percy Jackson books, and I give the reference to those books to obviously Rick Riordan. If you've ever read those books, it explains there's a lot of stuff in those books. It's mostly fiction, but there's a little bit of information in there that you can take and you can use in an actual argument. It's not all fiction. He had to get the information from somewhere. Now, when you think about it, the Romans and the Greeks didn't get along all that well, especially right around the time that the Romans were really getting the power. It was like, okay, well, these Greeks are, they're getting in our way. We're more powerful than them, but somehow they're still there. What are they doing here? So, honestly, I think somewhere around that time, the Romans started looking at the Greek gods or whatever, and they're like, oh, well, their stories make a little bit of sense because ours aren't all that different. So maybe if we change the histories and the stories a little bit more, then we'll be able to combine them all into one little story, and it'll make sense. It works. And then both of our cultures or whatever, if we do end up taking them over, or if they end up taking us over, it won't be a problem for us because we'll practically be praying to the exact same gods. I mean, cultures get mixed together, and no one really knows why. But honestly, that's probably part of the thinking that goes along with it. It just makes it easier if you take a little bit of a little bit of their culture and mix it in with your own. Otherwise, it's absolutely pointless to take over another country if you don't kind of expect, or another empire, if you don't expect to get something from that empire. If you're not getting all that much money, maybe you're getting money, but it's a different type of money. So either way, you're still getting new culture. It's just with the Greeks, most of their culture was based off of their religion. Most of their treasures, most of their gold, most of their money, most of their temples, their artifacts even, the food they ate, everything was precisely set up so that the gods would be pleased in Greek mythology. And the Romans, wanting to take over, and mix and blah, 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 looked at this and they're like, okay, well, if the Greeks, everything that the Greeks own are going to be based off of their gods, we can't change that. So if we want something from them, we're going to have to take their culture. There's nothing else we can do because everything they have is based off of their culture. Now, it's the same thing with with the Slavs, or Russians, the Polish, the Germans, and the French. A lot of those cultures were they derived from each other. They took from each other. They stole. They traded. It went around. It was like a big exchange between a couple of empires, just surrounded by each other or whatever. And it led to these cultures getting mixed together. Now, I know this is a little bit of a history lesson here, and I'm talking about a character from Wizard101, which is a rated E10 plus video game, but KingsIsle, honestly, okay, the game like the spells and stuff themselves, I'm not much of a fan of. But the thing I love about what KingsIsle does with the storyline is they make it as realistic as they possibly can. Most of their worlds, especially if you look at worlds like Avalon, they didn't just take things from they took things from like the Celtics, the Irish, the Scottish. It's from multiple different places, all from one time zone, and they put it together and they made it work. And they took it from fairy tales, they took it from lores, they took it from ghost stories. Just all these amazing ideas that all these historical figures, historical empires have come up with over the years. They took them and they put them into a story that it's fiction, but it holds a little bit of truth. Whether that truth is real or if it's a religion, if someone believed in it, or if it's just some bedtime story that someone decided to tell their kids, it doesn't matter. KingsIsle actually did their research, and that's why I like their game. That's why I play it. It makes sense, and that's why today I decided to give you the story of Baba Yaga, because I wanna let you guys know that there's these things called they're called Easter eggs. That's what people call them. They're little tidbits of I can't remember, non-fictional information found within like video games, movies, things like that. And you find them. I mean, it's real. It's like, okay, well that's interesting. I didn't know that about this. So from now on, like whenever you're playing through Wizard101, what I really beg you guys to do, I beg you guys to look for characters, look for references, like kind of like the Wizard City quests that are like that one movie. Oh crap! I don't think we're in Kansas anymore or whatever. I can't remember what the movie was called. Anyways, the Wicked Witch of the West movie, that thing. Yeah, there's all these references, like Baba-Yaga, like the Wicked Witch of the West, like Dorothy, like King Arthur, King Artorias, you see? Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. Like I said, I really hope you guys, just kind of look around, especially whenever Polaris comes around, because then you'll definitely see what I'm talking about. Now, I know, you don't want to hear me rambling on about all this stuff, so like I said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I hope you guys enjoy the information I gave you, and I'm definitely going to put more of these Easter egg videos out. Especially, like I said in my previous video, while I'm waiting to get the screen recorder that actually, does something for me. So for now, I might be putting up vlogs, a few, like talking things or whatever. Obviously, I'm going to be doing the books. But until then, until I get my screen recorder working, I'm going to be doing that. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Give me your opinion. I mean, what do you think about me doing these kind of videos? Do you think they're too short? Maybe they're too long. Maybe I'm not providing enough information, or maybe I'm providing too much. But all I'm saying is I really hope you guys, do your research on a little bit of this, because a lot of these facts are really awesome. I don't know, it's amazing. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and give a little clap to KingsIsle real quick, because they did an awesome job with Polaris, and they've done an awesome job with the game so far. And I hope they keep up the work. So, alright, I'll see you guys on my next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, leave a like, you leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Share the video if you have to. Share it. If you like it, share it with someone. Let people hear the information. Let them hear it for themselves. Let them learn. Get an education. And don't do drugs, children. Don't do drugs. Stay safe. Feel cozy. It's fall. It's going to be cold soon. Yeah. Good night.